Hi everyone, it's Kristen, welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back, and I want to say a huge thank you to all of my new subscribers. Today we're going to be doing a chair workout on the Pilates Pro Chair, or as we call this chair in the classical Pilates studio, the Wunda chair. Now if you've been following my videos, if you notice that my chair color is a little bit different in my video where I talked about setting up your own Pilates studio at home, I had a red chair in the previous video. I have a black chair here now. I actually picked this one up at a consignment shop for $28. So just proof that you can build your home studio on a budget if you look for some good deals. All right, so today we're going to do just a basic workout today, going through a few quick exercises. So the first one that we're going to begin with is called Footwork on the chair here. So we're going to be on 2 high springs. Now when you check your springs underneath, make sure they're both on and on the highest setting. So you want to have a seat right in the center of the chair. Go ahead and put your feet up onto the pedal, and you can bring your big toes right up to where those black pads end, and you don't want to actually put your toes on the metal part of the chair. I want you to put your fingers lightly around the front of the chair, lightly pull up with the pads of your fingers and roll your shoulders up and back. So this exercise works your legs, but it also works your posture and challenges the stability of your pelvis, which is held in place from your low abdominals pulling in. So with the pads of your fingers lightly pulling against the underneath of the chair, roll your shoulders up and back. Feel like there's a string from the top of your head pulling you up to the ceiling. Pull in your abdominals below your navel and lift your heels up high. So this first position is called toes. So we are in fact on the toes on the pedal. So we're going to press the pedal down only as far as you don't feel your body rock forward, and lift it up as high as you can. Press down, lift up, and try to press down through your toes rather than letting your heels fall as you press into the pedal. With every press and lift, pull in your low abdominals more and try to keep your body as still as possible, only moving the pedal with your legs. Let's take 2 more in this position, so it's about 10. Keep the pedal up now and bring the arches of your feet onto the pedal, so we are staying about hip width parallel here. You want to place the arch on that's just a little above the pads of your heels. So from here, same light pull up of the arms, shoulders up and back, low abs in. Press the pedal, lift it up. So again, don't press so hard. You don't have to press it all the way to the floor so that your body moves forward. You want to keep your body still. Eyes ahead of you. Remember that string from the top of your head. Nice deep breath. Take 2 more here. Keep the pedal up and place your heels on. Now make sure the center pad of your heels goes on the pedal here, and you pull your toes up towards your knees. Still lift tall. Press the pedal and lift. Press, lift. Now remember, anytime that the springs are closing is your opportunity to resist the springs. Don't let the springs just push your legs back up. 2 more here. Okay, so then we're going to place the toes back on the bar. So these are some ankle articulations here. These are a little bit of brain teasers. So I want you to press the pedal down just until your thighs level off to the floor. Imagine that you have a tray resting on your thighs with a glass of water. You don't want that glass of water to spill, so you're going to keep your thighs still as you point your toes to press the pedal lower, and then flex your feet to lift the pedal up. Notice how my thighs didn't change. Point your toes to lower the pedal. Flex your feet to lift it up. Harder than it looks. Point and press. Flex and lift. Point and press. Flex and lift. 1 more time here. Now we're going to completely reverse that. So get rid of the tray. And now the pedal is going to stay still, and your thighs will move up and down as you point and flex your feet. So notice how my knees and thighs move up as I lift my heels, and then as I lower my heels, my thighs lower. But notice the pedal is not moving here. Lift your heels and lower your heels, and the pedal doesn't move, so you have to keep pressing your feet against it. And 1 more time. And then keep your heels up as high as you can and lift the pedal up. You can walk your feet forward to make sure the springs close safely. And we'll step down. So next we're going to do a standing tendon stretch. So if you have any challenging issues with your balance, you just want to be very careful with this, and remember not to pull back against the chair. since there's nothing to anchor the chair down to the floor. So I want you to walk your toes up against the base of the chair and go ahead and place your hands on the sides. Bring one foot onto the pedal, press down, and take your other foot onto the pedal as well. Try to keep your shoulders right over top of your hands. Pull in your lowest abdominals below your navel. Look down at the center of the chair. And then we're going to lower your heels towards the floor and lift them back up. Lower your heels and lift your heels. So you're getting a nice stretch on the back of your legs, and you're trying to keep your weight forward with your shoulders over your hands the whole time. And this is a very heavy pedal, so for some of you it might be trying to lift you off the floor. Keep reaching down into it. So let's take 2 more here. And we're going to keep checking in with those low abdominals. Okay, so then we're going to safely bring one foot down to the floor. Keep leaning a little forward as you lift the pedal up. Keep your hands on the chair and take your foot down. And then you can roll yourself up to stand. Reach your arms to the sky and circle them around. All right, so next we're going to do an exercise called the push down, which involves a lot of forward flexion. So if you have any kind of bone loss or back issues, flexion is not advised for you, and you may want to leave this exercise out. So we're going to change the springs. If I step around to the back here, I want to have it on one low setting spring. So bear with me, these springs are a little challenging. You're going to slide one down to the bottom, and the other one has to come completely off and just dangle. All right, so then we're going to step back around to the front. So bring your toes against the base of the chair, that little platform down there, and then just from there, you're standing a good maybe hip socket distance apart. Step back a couple inches away from the chair. Lift your arms up to a high diagonal, and here just notice your posture. Make sure you don't feel your ribs pushing forward. Pull your ribs in so you're still tall, and you're pulling in your low abdominals, and you're trying to lift all of your backbones up to the sky. Take a big inhale, and on your exhale, start to round over, keeping your arms with your ears all the way until you can bring your hands onto the pedal. Make sure the palm of the hand to the heel of the hand goes on the pedal and your fingers are open. Make sure that your weight is a little forward over the balls of your feet and you're not all back in your heels. So you want your hips to be just about directly over your heels. Your eyes are looking down at your toes. Now, remember to keep pulling in your low abdominals and start to press the pedal towards the floor. Keep your legs straight if you can. If you have really tight hamstrings, you may have to bend a little bit. And then pull your low abdominals in and resist the springs as you lift the pedal back up. And again, you press the pedal down, pull in your low abdominals and resist the springs up. And press and resist. We'll do 2 more times here. And up, and press, and up. Now we're going to press it down one more time, and we're going to stay here. So I want you to keep your body in the same position, so don't let it go up and down. You're going to bend your elbows with them going towards your sides and resist the pedal as it comes towards your forehead. And then straighten your arms, press the pedal back away from you. Bend your elbows, they stay towards your sides. And then press the pedal away. Let's take that 2 more times. So you're doing like a little tricep press here. Keep your arms straight. Now pull your low belly in as you resist the springs up. This time after they close, we're going to roll up. Keep your arms with your ears. Come all the way up tall and circle your arms strongly around to the side. So let's do one more variation on that. Lift your arms up again, go high diagonal. Big inhale, exhale as you go over. Bring your hands onto the pedal. Open fingers, weights forward on the balls of your feet. Press the pedal down, and then right away, let's bend the elbows and do one little pump of the pedal. And then pull your low belly in, resist the springs up. And again, press down, and one bend of your arms, and lift back up, resist. Let's do that 2 more times. Press, and bend, and resist. So this is getting a lot of good abdominal work here, a little bit of arm work and articulation of your spine. And some nice stretch of your hamstrings too. So we roll back up, arms with the ears, All the way up tall, big inhale. Exhale, circle your arms strongly to the sides. Okay, so now we're going to be doing a little back work, which we call extension, when your spine is straight, or we try to reverse the curve of your upper back. So I'm going to step behind the chair now. Okay, so for this one, you're going to go ahead and lie down on top of the chair. Ooh, the chair is very hot from the sun. You're going to take your hands onto the pedal and press it down. Legs are off the floor and behind you long. And you want to position yourself so just about the bottom of your rib cage is off of the chair, and that your shoulders are just about over top of your hands. So roll your knuckles forward so your knuckles are touching that platform at the bottom of the chair there. Okay, so pull your low abdominals in and it's really balanced on the chair. You don't want all the weight in your hip bones, you don't want all the weight to your feet, you want to be right in the middle. We're going to try to maintain that, and I want you to start by doing the same thing that we did a moment ago. Bend your elbows, resist the springs up, and press it back down. Try to roll your shoulders back, bend your elbows towards your sides, press it back down. One more time here. All right, now, the arms stay straight. Try to roll those shoulders back so that you open your collarbones. Keep your legs reaching out behind you, hug your heels if you can. Pull back against the pedal. Lift up, trying to arch your very upper back, but keep your hips nice and level on the chair. And then lower back down. And again, you're going to lift up, pull back against the pedal, reach your chest forward, don't come up too high, and lower back down. Let's do that 2 more times. And lower down. Take a nice inhale as you lift. Exhale as you lower. Okay, so let's pump the pedal 3 more times. We go 1, 2, 3. Keep your arms straight, roll your shoulders back. Try to keep your legs up as you lift the pedal. Lower back down. 2. Add lower. 1 more. Lower back down. Bring one hand to the chair top. Find your feet on the floor. Lift the pedal up safely. Keep your hands on the sides of the chair and just kind of round back. So you're just going into a counter stretch here. All right. So now we're going to do some side bending, which will be on the same spring setting, so it's that lower bottom spring. So you're going to actually sit on the side of the chair for this one. Now what I want you to do is hook your knee around the side of the chair and sit right in the middle of the seat as you can. And make sure the back of your knee comes all the way against the edge of the chair. Take your other leg out to the side and make sure that your foot is flat down, so you're trying to push that pinky toe towards the floor. Try to square your hips here. And you're going to take one hand to the middle where that metal part is on the pedal. Lift your other arm up by your ear. Now, if this is too challenging for your shoulders, you can always take your hand behind your head. So I'm going to go here, and I want you to lightly pull up against that pedal so that you can bring yourself a little more upright and you feel long through both sides of your body. And then you're going to lightly press into that pedal as you reach your arm up and across like you're trying to touch the other side of the room, or for me, the other side of the wall or the yard, and then come back up, pull against the pedal. All the way up, so you're actually pulling it past the tension of the springs a little bit, and then reach out again, lightly press into it, and keep your foot reaching into the floor. And then come back up, lightly pull against the pedal, keep your arms straight. Try to roll both shoulders back, reach across, and back up. And let's do one more time on this side. And up. All right, from here, I'm going to go ahead and turn around so my back is towards you, and I'm going to do the alternate arm position to show you. Okay, so I'm still sitting in the center of the chair. My knee is supported against the back, my leg is out to the side, and I'm pushing my pinky toe towards the floor. Still pulling in low abdominals. So now I'm going to place my hand behind my head. I'm going to go right under my ponytail here. Okay, I'm going to find the other hand on the pedal. I'm going to lightly pull up, so I start up tall, and then press into the pedal, keep reaching foot into the floor, and then come back up. And again, press, and you feel that nice long stretch through the side of your body, and up. 3 more here. Press, and up. 2, and up, and last time, and up. All right. So next we're going to do a little arm work now. So these are going to be tricep dips that we're going to do actually seated on the floor in front of the chair. And I have a yoga block here because you need to elevate yourself a little bit higher than ground level so that we can fully straighten your arms behind you. If you don't have a yoga block, you can use a towel or a rolled up mat. So we're going to place it right in front of the chair here. And I've changed my spring setting. I'm on one spring still, but I moved it to the higher setting. So go ahead and have a seat on either your block or your towel or your mat. Have your legs out as long as you can in front of you. If your hamstrings are tight, you may have to bend your knees a little, and that's okay. But strongly press your heels in. All right, so from here, you're going to have to turn your body a little bit, and be careful if you have any shoulder issues, you might want to leave this out. So you can bring one hand on the pedal, and then turn away from it as you press it down. Find your other hand on the pedal. So sit tall as you can, and press that pedal until your arms straighten all the way, and roll your shoulders up and back. Okay, so strengthen the top of your head, and you pull your low abdominals in. Bend your elbows only to the point that you don't let your shoulders rise or roll forward, and press it back down. And resist the spring as it comes up. Press it back down, arms long. And keep trying to lift your whole body up. So you feel space in your back bones all the way up to the top of your head. Remember that string pulling you up to the ceiling from the top of your head. You feel your ribs up away from your hips. Let's take 2 more here. And then you'll keep your arms straight here. You'll turn a little bit towards the chair, and you can change your grip around so that you can take one hand off and resist the pedal back up. Okay, give yourself a break for a moment and roll your shoulders up, back, down, and around. We're actually going to do another set. So again, you'll turn, find your hand on the pedal. I have fingers facing in. Press the pedal down, find your other hand. Lift tall, roll your shoulders up and back. Pull in your low abdominals, straight arms first. Then bend, resist your spring, and press. Bend and press. So we'll go to about 10 here. Make sure you don't go too fast. You want to work a lot of resistance. And let's take about 4 more. Take nice deep breaths. 3, 2, 1 more. Okay, so then I'm going to let go with one hand, turn a little towards the pedal. In fact, I'm going to turn my hand around. I think that's the safest thing for shoulders. Resist the pedal back up. Go ahead and take your hand off. Okay, so we have one more exercise we're going to finish with today. So we need two springs for this one, but we're actually going to stagger the spring setting. We need a high spring and a low spring setting. Okay, so I'm already on the high spring setting, so I'm going to take my second spring and attach it on the lower hook. Bear with me, these springs are tricky. Okay. And then we're going to pause for a moment because I'm going to set up an extra accessory that we need for this exercise. Okay, so as you can see, I have attached the handles that came with this chair. Now, I didn't need it for the rest of the exercises that we did, but this one you will need it for balance. So these are called the standing press downs. So you're going to take a hold kind of around the front sides of the handles, like at the end of the black pad. Don't hold directly on top. And you're going to bring one foot on the pedal. Make sure the ball of your foot goes on. Lean a little forward to press the pedal down. This is to protect your knee. Okay, after you get the pedal all the way down, shift your weight back a little bit so you're standing nice and tall. Try to square your shoulders, square your hips, and lift your heel up as high as you can. This is a heavy spring, so I really have to work here. Now, doing this on one leg is going to challenge even more the stability of your pelvis in order to keep it square. Of course, we pull in the low abdominals to help make sure it stays square. So I'm going to resist the pedal up only about halfway, and then press it back down. And resist it up, and press it down. And make sure, if anything, you feel like you're kind of leaning a little away from the chair and not leaning towards it. And keep working to adjust your heel because it's going to want to lower and help push the pedal down. So we're going to take 4 more here. 3, 2, and 1 more. Okay, now to change, I'm going to lean forward now to protect my knee, lift the pedal up all the way, and then take my foot down. Okay, the other foot goes up, and I should mention I'm standing about fist distance apart. Then the other foot goes on. I lean a little forward, press the pedal down. Shift my weight back so I'm standing up tall. Make sure I have a good foothold with the ball of my foot, not toes, not arch. And lift your heel up. Square your pelvis, pull in your low abdominals, lift all your back bones up, and resist the pedal as it comes up. Press it back down. Resist and press. And make sure you don't feel your pelvis trying to rotate here or one hip lifting higher than the other. Okay, the goal is to keep it stable. Nice deep breath, low abs in. You should be feeling a little bit of this in your glutes as well. Let's take 2 more here. Okay, so then I'm going to press the pedal down, lean a little forward, resist the pedal as it comes up, and take my foot down. All right, so that's all for today. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope I will see you very soon in the next one. Take care.